Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Wright from Forever Yoga. I want to thank you so much for being a Patreon subscriber. I hope you enjoy this all levels Vinyasa yoga practice. Well, good morning everyone. Happy December. Wow, yeah. We blinked, it's gone. So, as you have seen, new month, new mantra. This is the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, also known as the Markandeya mantra. And if you learn one mantra in your studies of yoga, this would be a good one to learn. This is said to be even more so than the one we worked with last month, one of the most healing mantras. I know. So, needless to say, a little more complex than last month, so let's do a little repeat after me, if you would. Om, Trayambakam, Yajamahe, Sugandim, Pushti Vardhanam, Urva, Rukamiva, and that's not separated the way I just did, so those first two words, Urva Rukamiva, Bandhanan, Mrityur, Mukshya, Mamritat. One more time. Om Trayambakam, Yajamahe, Sugandim, Pushti Vardhanam, Urva Rukamiva, not bad, Bandhanan, Mrityur, Mukshya, Mamritat. Excellent. We'll talk more about that as we move on through the month, and we'll chant that at the beginning of the practice. So this month I decided that, as we all just said, the year gone in a blink of an eye, right? So good time to reflect, to go back to what's happened. Can we take it all in? And so this month, I've created a sequence for you that is going to be a review of pretty much everything we've done throughout the year. Now, if you haven't done all those things, no big deal. You're still going to get a well-rounded Vinyasa yoga practice. But I thought it might be interesting to kind of go back to some of the things we've done and see how they are, see how they're coming along. You'll get to know where maybe there's a little more work to do, and you'll get to know the things that, nailed it, got it now, right? All of that said, with kind of this overarching idea of just allowing yourself to feel better in your body. It's the end of the year. There's a lot going on. We all are super busy, all that kind of stuff, right? So as you approach this, kind of keep that in mind, that you're just here to feel better in your body today. Let's see what happens. Let's come to sit up nice and tall, taking whatever seat's comfortable for you right now, allowing your eyes to fall fully closed or to that soft point of focus ahead of you. As you settle in this morning and allow your awareness to draw inward, take the time to reflect back. January seems like a long time ago and a short time ago. What's happened for you this year? There are ups and downs for all of us. There are moments of joy and moments of sorrow. As we've discussed in our last couple of months with that book, Buddha's Brain, as you reflect back, remember that you have that negativity bias in the brain. And so maybe you work a little bit more to think about the good things, to think about your accomplishments, to think about what's been expansive, what has been joyful. Not to push those other things aside, but to just bring balance. Maybe today you hold that intention for your practice of just allowing yourself to feel better in your body. As you move through the challenges of this practice, keeping that in mind, allowing yourself to see where you've been, where you are right now, and where you might be going. Holding that in whatever way makes sense. And then draw your attention to your breath. And start to allow your breath to deepen. And start to bring in the sound of ujjayi. That little constriction in the back of the throat that creates this whispering sound where the mind can start to focus, where the mind can come to rest. Becoming fully immersed in that movement of your breath into and out of your body. Staying with that awareness as you move through your practice today. Begin our chanting with the sound of Om together 3 times. Letting a full breath in. Then coming to the mantra, of course, feel free to open the eyes and check in with those chant sheets as you need. We'll start with some call and response, so listening first. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Try. Om Triambakam Yajamahe. Good, listen. Sugandim Pushtivardhanam. Sugandim Pushtivardhanam. Listen. Urvarukamiva Vandanam. Urvarukamiva Vandanam. Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Swaha. Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Swaha. And listen again. try it one more time all together. Do your best. Nice, everybody inhaling from. And gently allow the eyes to open. Not bad at all, folks. Not bad at all. All right, guys, let's come on to our backs to start today. And you're going to come right into Supta Baddha Konasana. So knees are going to fall wide of each other. Soles of the feet are going to come together. Feel free to grab your blocks, maybe to place them underneath the knees, maybe underneath the thighs. You've got those 3 different levels of the blocks to play with there. Especially good idea to draw in the blocks should you have any sense that the muscles are trying to hold the legs in this shape early in the practice here. So just allow the body to be easy, to find the shape without force or strain. Start to cultivate some deeper breaths as you arrive there. Feeling that full inhalation coming deep down into the belly and letting that deep exhalation release. Good. From there, take your left hand to your left inner thigh. It's just going to rest there. It's not going to try to press down or do anything. It's just kind of reminding that left thigh to stay as it is. And then with an exhale, take your right leg into happy baby pose. So that right knee is going to draw in and wide. You're maybe going to hold behind the thigh, maybe up to the ankle, maybe the foot, depending on what your flexibility allows right here. Taking a couple of nice full breaths. Again, remembering that the idea here is to just feel better in our bodies. So we're not pushing, we're not forcing, we're not straining. Just allowing space to be created. If your flexibility does allow, you might start to allow the back of the right shoulder blade to deepen in towards the earth a little bit more. Couple of last breaths here. Good. Your next exhale, let that right foot come back to where it began, back into Supta Baddha Konasana. A nice full breath in there. And a full exhale. And then as you breathe in here, let your next exhalation draw the right hand to that right inner thigh now. You're just reminding that leg to stay easy, stay relaxed. And then with an exhalation, draw the left leg into half happy baby pose. Honor any differences you find between the two sides. Maybe the clasp needs to be different here. And as you rest here, allow for that fullness of your breath. You're allowing that opening to happen. You're not trying to get to any particular place. If the flexibility does allow and you do want to deepen a little bit more, just think about that idea of firming the back of the left shoulder blade down into your mat just a little bit more. Good, and then on your next exhale, release that foot. Let it come back to where it began, back into Supta Baddha Konasana. Take a breath or two here. Good. And then with an exhale, you might use the support of the hands to draw the knees back up to the sky, back to center. You might knock them together, walk the feet wide, and stay in stillness for a moment or two, or you might come into some windshield wipers if a more dynamic movement would feel better in your body. Good. And then let the feet be on the earth. They're going to be hip bones distance apart, so if you walk them wide, draw them a little bit closer towards each other. Take the right ankle on top of the left thigh. The arms are going to come out to letter T or cactus. And then as you exhale, let the legs rotate over to the left side. Good. So that right foot might come onto the earth or a block, again, depending on what's possible right here in your body. And then you might stay there, or you might take your left hand to the top of your right foot, rooting down a bit through the hand into the foot, imagining that you're deepening that connection to the earth. But then creating the opposite action by resisting that press down, imagining or feeling like you were going to peel your foot up off the earth. Outer hip muscles and that right side might activate and the sensations might deepen. Remember that only you know how much is too much. Regulating that sensation by how much you engage with those two actions. Good. On your next exhale, let it go. Draw the legs back up to center. Let them unwind, maybe a little hug into your chest, maybe a little windshield wiper. Good. And then taking that over to the other side, soles of the feet are on the earth to start. The left ankle is going to come across that right thigh. Arms to that letter T or cactus position. They will feel different depending on which one you take. And then as you exhale, send the legs over to the right. The sole of that left foot finding contact with the earth or a block, whichever is most available for you right now. And then once again, if it's possible, you're going to take the right hand to the top of the foot. You're using that right hand to root the foot down into the earth a little bit. But then you're creating the opposite action by resisting that, by imagining that you were going to peel your foot up off the earth and letting those outer hip muscles find a little more activation. Breathing to whatever you find there. And then on your next exhale, let it go. Draw the legs back up to center. Maybe that little circle on your low back with knees into the chest. Maybe a little windshield wiper there. And then start to find your way onto all fours. As you come onto all fours, set up that good foundation. Patting up the knees as you might need. Lining up the wrist creases with the front of the mat, finding that nice wide spread of the fingers, that little check mark of index finger and thumb towards each other. The elbow crease pointing at the thumb knuckle. And then couple of scapular push-ups here. So arms are going to stay straight. You're going to press the earth away, send the back of your heart up towards the sky. And then same thing, but opposite direction. Arms are going to stay straight. You're going to sink the heart down towards the earth. Good. Exhale, press the earth away, send the back of the heart up towards the sky. Elbows stay as they are. Same thing with the elbows as you start to let the heart descend towards the mat. Good. One more time. Exhale, press the earth away. Find that broadness through the scapula, the shoulder blades moving away from each other. And then as you exhale, again, send the heart towards the earth, and those shoulder blades move in towards each other. Nice. This time as you exhale, find neutral, find the space in between those two places. And then we'll start to come into a little cat and cow, inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, rounding the spine, gaze back towards the belly. Inhaling, the tailbone lifts, the heart lifts, and gaze lift. Exhaling, rooting the tailbone to the earth, spine round. Continuing with your own breath there. And after a few repetitions, if you'd like to find some side-to-side movement or some hip circles or some other small movements in your cat-cow, feel free to draw them in. You're just allowing yourself to explore and to feel better in your body. Good. From there, start to come back to a neutral tabletop position. You've got a nice neutral spine. On an inhale, you're going to send the right leg up and back behind you. The foot's going to flex. The heel's not going to lift higher than the hip. You're drawing the low ribs in and up towards the spine. And the head isn't sinking towards the earth. It's staying in line. Good. Then as you exhale, bend that right knee, sole of the foot up towards the sky as if you were going to plant that foot on the ceiling. On your next exhale, press that foot up into the ceiling as if you were going to lift the ceiling tiles. Inhale, let it soften down a bit. Exhale, press it up. Keep those low ribs hugging in. Inhale to soften. Exhale, press on up. One more inhale, soften. Exhale, press it up. And then from here, you're going to take your left hand, see if you can reach back and find your foot. Fun. If you do catch the foot, see if you can flip it to the pinky toe side of your foot. One more breath or two here. Maybe you're pressing that foot back into the hand. And then as you exhale, let it go. Shake it out a little bit. Take a little moment. And then come back to that neutral tabletop position. Take a moment to feel the hands kind of pressing the earth away. You've got a little bit of broadness through the scapula, and those low ribs are hugging in and up. Then as you exhale, send that left leg back behind you. Foot flexes. As you lift the leg, it may not go super high because you're keeping those low ribs contained and hugging in rather than lifting the heel higher than the hip. Good. Then as you exhale, bend that knee, sole of the foot up towards the sky. Take a breath. Exhale, a little press up. Inhale, soften it down. Exhale, press on up. Inhaling, soften. Exhale to press. One more inhale, let it soften. Exhale, press it up. Good. Then from there, left hand's going to stay with the earth. Right arm's going to reach up and back. See if you can find that foot. If you do, try flipping the hand to the pinky toe side of the foot. Going to give you a little more opening in the front of the chest, front of the shoulder. You can press the foot back into the hand, hand into the foot for a little more stability. Good. And then as you exhale, let it go. Nice work. Shake it out any way you need. All right, from there, let's tuck the toes and find our way into downward facing dog. You might pedal it out here, bending one knee and then the other. A little swivel to the hips, a little shake of the head or shoulders. Notice if anything in these last few movements have created tension that perhaps you might start to resolve with a little small movement or a concentrated awareness. Good. And then on an inhale, you're going to lift your right leg up to the sky for down dog split. And as you exhale, you're going to step it all the way through to a lunge. If it doesn't quite make it out there, give it a little help, give it a little wiggle. Make sure that you get that front foot forward enough so that the knee comes over the ankle. And then nice and simple, as you exhale, you're going to drop the back knee to the earth. As you inhale, lift it back up. Exhaling to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And then exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Take a moment, just feel any differences between the two sides. Maybe give it a little pedal out again. Good. And then on an inhale, lift the left leg to the sky, down dog split. As you exhale, step it all the way through to a lunge. Not bad at all. Give it a little help out. We can talk. We can talk. We can talk. On an exhale, drop the back knee to the earth. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale to lower, full length of your breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift it up. And then this time, as you exhale, step forward to standing forward fold. Might be a couple steps, no big deal. Good, check in with your feet. Find that good alignment. Outer foot blades may be parallel. Sit bones distance or wider. Let the knees be soft, let the head go, let the neck go. Maybe find some other small movements here, clasping opposite elbows, rolling side to side or up and down. See what works. Good. And then come back to center, back to stillness. And on an inhale, you're going to lift halfway to Ardha Uttanasana, shoulders up in line with hips. As you exhale, bow forward, back to standing forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Really give yourself a good lift. Hands are light. Exhale, bow forward, standing forward fold. One more time. Inhale, lifting up. And then exhale, bow forward. Really let that head neck go. Good. Breath in right here. And then exhale, come on all the way up to the sky. Inhaling to reach the arms up. And exhaling, hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, prayer the palms, soften knees, bow forward. Inhale to lengthen just as you were. Exhaling to bow. Breath in there. Exhale to the sky. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale to bow. Breath in. Exhale to the sky. Inhale, reaching forward and up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, reach up through center. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale to bow. Breath in right there. Exhale up to the sky. Inhale, reaching up through center. Exhale, hands to heart. This time, as you inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale to bow. Breath in. Exhale to the sky. Arms reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale to bow. Inhale, plant your hands and step your right leg back to a lunge. On your exhale, you're going to drop the back knee down to the earth. Find your padding as you need. And then on an exhale, hands to the front thigh or right up to the sky for Anjaneyasana. We did a lot of work months ago with lifting the hips up and back so that they're in line with that back knee. You're pressing down through that front heel and energizing that reach through the fingers. Good. As you exhale, touch the hands down. Find your way back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, come forward to plank. Pausing there for a moment, feel that press of the earth away. The scapulas are nice and broad. The head's not dropping to the earth. There's a little press up through the back of the head. Good. As you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Find that place you just were. And then exhale, press back to down dog. One more time. Inhale, forward to plank. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Good. Inhaling, look forward to the hands. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale to bow. Breath in. Exhale to the sky. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, touch down, send your left leg back to a lunge. Next exhale, drop that back knee to the earth, find your padding. And then as you exhale, come on up to the sky. You're rooting down through that front heel, lifting the frontal hip points off that front thigh as you reach through the fingertips. Good. Your next exhale, touch the hands down. Find your way back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, both knees down. Remember that feeling of lift through the ribs? As you exhale, bend the elbows, a little bit or a lot. Keep them hugging into ribs. Next exhale, straighten the arms. Breath in. Exhale, elbows bend. Belly keeps lifting up. Next exhale, straighten the arms. Breath in. Exhale, little mini push-up. Keep those elbows hugging in. Next exhale, straighten the arms. Nice. Tuck the toes with an inhale. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Come back to your breath. Remember that idea of steady, focused gaze on the earth at that single point, letting the nervous system know all is well, allowing that fullness of your breath to help with that steadiness. Good. Your next inhale, look forward to the hands. Exhaling, step or hop forward. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale to bow. Breath in. Exhale to the sky. Inhale to reach. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, touch down, send your right leg back to a lunge. Good, then take your back foot and step it in about a foot or so. Your toes are going to be turned out 45 degrees, and your heel is going to be strongly planted on the earth. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, come on up to the sky for warrior one. One. I know, so weird. Right? So check in with the hips. I know we haven't done this in a long time. That's why it's the year in review practice, right? Yeah. So the hips are not facing directly forward. They're up towards that right corner of your mat. Your chest is turning forward. That front knee is right over the ankle, and you're reaching through the fingertips. Good. And then from there, take a breath in. As you exhale, imaginary lat pull down, elbows come parallel with shoulders. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Good. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, touch the hands down. Find your way back to downward facing dog. Good. On an inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back down dog. Inhaling plank. Exhale, both knees down. Come forward and down all the way to the earth. Elbows hug in as you go. Untuck the toes. And exhale, come on up into cobra. Breath in there. Exhale, roll back down. Full inhale. Exhale, roll up cobra, nice and slow. Breath in at the top. Exhale, roll back down. Deep inhale. Exhale, peel up cobra. Breath in. Exhale, roll back down. Nice. Tuck the toes with your inhale. Exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to find that steadiness of your breath again. On an inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. As you exhale, step it forward to a lunge. Take a moment. Once you're there, you're going to plant that left hand on the earth and spin the right arm up to the sky for a twist. Good. Nice deep breath. And then exhale, touch the hand down, step forward to standing forward fold. You're good. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhale to bow. Breath in there. Exhale to the sky. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, touch down, left leg back to lunge. Good. Then once again, as we make our way towards warrior one, you're going to step that back foot forward a little bit. The toes are going to turn out about 45 degrees, so they're not parallel to the back of the mat. They're much farther forward. The heel is definitely grounded and on the earth. Take a breath in. Exhaling, come on up to the sky. Good. Again, as you're here, those frontal hip points are going to be angled towards that upper left corner of your mat. You're rooting down through the back heel as well as the front heel, lifting the hip points, reaching through the fingers. Nice. And then on an exhale, pull down on those legs. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale and pull. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, touch the hands down. Find your way back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhaling, come forward to plank. Exhale, back down dog. Inhaling, plank. Exhale, knees down. Come forward and down. Cobra again. As you exhale, lifting up head, neck, and chest. Staying there as you inhale, elbows hug in, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, roll back down. Good. Tuck the toes with your inhale. Exhaling, find your way back to downward facing dog. Steady your breath and steady your gaze. Good. Next, inhale, lift the left leg to the sky, down dog split. Strong exhale as you step it forward to a lunge. Good. And then once you're ready, right hand's going to plant. Left arm's going to spin up towards the sky, little twist. Good. As you exhale, touch the hands down. Step forward to standing forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bow. Breath in. Exhale to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sit bones back, Utkatasana. Good. Breath in. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, touch down, right leg back to a lunge. Press down through the feet with your inhale. Exhale, come on up to the sky, high lunge. Good. And then on an exhale, take your hands behind your back to interlace. Take a little lift of the shoulders, draw them back behind you, and then maybe lengthen the hands towards the back heel a little bit more. Then start to send the torso forward. Kind of load up that front leg a little bit more, sort of like a half warrior here. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, press down to lift up into warrior 3.
You didn't make us move our foot.
I didn't. You can do that if you need to.
Whoa. Whoa.
If you need to separate the hands, feel free to do so. Good. Then as you exhale, see if you can reach back into your high lunge or thereabouts. Sense of humor always appropriate. And then reach the arms up to the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale, touch the hands down. Find your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhaling plank. Exhale, knees down. Come forward and down. Locust pose, hands along hips, palms face the earth. Exhale, lift everything up. Breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Breath in. Exhale, lower. Full inhale. Exhale, lift up. Breath in. Exhale, lower down. Good. Hands under shoulders as you inhale. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Steady breath. Steady gaze. Feel the earth beneath you. Good. Next, inhale, look forward to the hands. Exhaling, step or hop forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bow. Breath in. Exhale to the sky. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sit bones back, Utkatasana. Full breath. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, touch down, left leg's going back to a lunge. And make sure you got those 2 separate railroad tracks with the feet. Breathe in. Exhale, come on up to the sky, high lunge. Good. Nice. And then taking that interlace of the hands behind the back. See if you can find the other interlace, the other index finger on top, the one that is going to feel probably a little bit weird. Little lift of the heads of the arm bones, and then draw them back behind you. Let that start to extend the fists back towards that back heel. Good. And then start to lean the torso forward. Start to feel a little more weight in that front leg ready to support you. Take a breath in. Exhale, press down to lift up into warrior 3. Might be a couple of hops into that back foot. Once you're there, flex that back foot, reach out through the heel. That same action as we started with on all fours. Arms can do whatever they need to do. And then on an exhale, see if you can step back into high lunge or thereabouts. Steady breath. Beautiful. As you exhale, touch the hands down, find your way back to downward facing dog. In a moment, I'll offer the option for chaturanga. You know that you can always skip it and come to the earth, or stay here, or take a child's pose. So here we go if you're coming with me. Inhale forward to plank. Exhaling, chaturanga, or all the way to the floor. Cobra or up dog as you inhale, and exhaling back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Couple of nice deep breaths here. Good. On your next exhale, draw the knees down and wide and press back to child's pose. As you come into child's pose, bend your elbows. Put the hands behind the neck or the head or the back. You might walk the elbows a little farther forward as the hips move back to deepen that sensation. You might draw in blocks underneath the elbows if you wish. Couple of breaths here. All right, from there, come to stand up on your knees. Good spot for a little blanket underneath the knees here. Let the toes be tucked behind you. And start to find that activation of all those back body muscles we've been focusing on when we do that lifted hips back, Anjaneyasana, when we were doing that opposite arm and leg work, the backs of the thighs and the low glutes starting to engage. Really feel that action. Take the hands to your heart and start to lift the heart up into the hands. Start to lift the gaze up just slightly. And then on an inhale, take the right arm up and back behind you. See if you can find your right heel. Take a breath there. And as you exhale, maybe that left arm reaches up and back to find camel pose. Careful with the head and neck. Keep the gaze lifted rather than just dropping the head back. And then as you exhale, follow the heart up. Come back to sit on the heels for a moment, or maybe just stand on the knees. Yeah, that was me too. Couple of deep breaths. Yeah, you can untuck the toes. Sorry about that. It's an interesting toe stretch if you keep the toes tucked for sure. Yeah. All right, then come back up to stand on the knees. Tucking the toes again behind you. Take a moment to feel that activation of low glutes, back of thighs. You might even touch it, right? Actually feel those muscles doing something. I had that very interesting moment with the upper glutes the other day. I'm like, are they doing anything? Sometimes touching them makes them like, oh, yeah, me, okay. I'm here, I'm working, good. Take the hands to your heart. Lift the heart up a bit into the hands. Feel a little lengthening there, little lift of the gaze. And then as you exhale, left arm's gonna reach up and back. See if you can find the heel first. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, take that other arm up and back. See if you can find both. You can always keep that second arm lifted up to the sky. That's a great option. Steady breath. Good. As you exhale, follow the heart up. Maybe you're going to come back to sit on the heels for a moment. Maybe you're just going to come to all fours. Take a couple of breaths with a little bit of neutrality in the spine. And then hands to the earth if you're not already on all fours. Tuck the toes and exhale back to downward facing dog. Stay there if you wish, or vinyasa with me, inhaling forward to plank. Exhaling, chaturanga or the floor. Cobra or up dog with an inhale. And then exhaling back to downward facing dog. Nice. On your next exhale, draw the knees down and wide, press back to child's pose. You can take that bent elbow option if you like, or let it rest entirely. Couple deep breaths. Good. Then find your way onto your back. We'll take a little bridge pose here. So see that the feet are about sit bones distance apart, maybe a little wider. You're rooting down through all four corners of the feet equally, finding the heels maybe underneath the knees, maybe a little closer to the buttocks, maybe a little farther away, depending on how they feel. Bend the elbows 90 degrees, hug them in close, press them down into the mat. Find that little hug of the shoulder blades together. Feel that little lift of your heart that's already happening here. And then on an exhale, lift the hips high to the sky. Good. You might stay there with the hands. You might take that interlace of the hands behind your back. And then again, you might stay there, or on an exhale, lift that right leg straight up to the sky. Reaching out through the heel and rooting down through that left heel. And then exhale, touch that foot down. Take a breath, realign, feel both feet on the earth. And then on an exhale, reach that other leg up towards the sky. Good, you're rooting down through that right heel nice and strong. And then as you exhale, touch it down. Take another breath. And then exhale, let it go, releasing the hands if they're behind and making your way back to the earth. Couple of deep breaths. And then we're going to go there one more time with the option for wheel pose, but we'll take wheel through the bridge pose. So setting up the same way, rooting the feet into the earth, drawing those elbows in close, pressing them down, creating that little lift of the heart through that contraction of the shoulder blades. Breath in. Exhale, hips lift high to the sky. And again, you can stay there, you can take the interlace behind, or you're going to plant the hands outside of the ears. The fingertips might point out to the sides a bit, elbows hug in up towards the sky. On an exhale, you start to press down into those hands, maybe to lift to the top of the head first, and then maybe the rest of the way. Keep the legs working wherever you go. And then if you're in wheel pose, tuck the chin first. And we'll all start to make our way out, letting the arms go if they're behind, slowly releasing down. Maybe a moment to knock the knees together, to walk the feet wide. Couple deep breaths. Good. And then maybe draw the knees into your chest. Little circle on the low back, little rock side to side. And then roll over onto one side. Come on up to seated. You may want to grab a little blanket or cushion to sit up on. Going to be taking the legs into a wide V shape, so if you want to turn to face the long side of the mat to cushion the heels, feel free to do so. And flex the feet. Toes are straight up towards the sky, coming back towards the shins. Take the fingertips behind the hips. And take a minute to just take the heads of the arm bones, lift them up, and draw them back behind you. Feel that little engagement behind you, lengthening the spine just a little bit more. And then as you exhale, start to roll forward on the sit bones, rotating at the hip rather than the waist, maintaining that length you've created in the spine as you move forward. Depending on how far you go, you might take the hands forward for support. You might take 2 fingers around the big toe for yogi toe lock. See what works. But do your best to maintain that rounding forward through the pelvis and that length in the spine. Good. One last deep breath in. Exhale, press through the back of the head to draw back up tall. Good. Maybe give the legs a little shake right there. And then if you're facing me, I'm not mirroring you, just so you know. Going to turn to your right leg, whichever your right leg is. Fingertips are going to frame that knee or the thigh. Feel that feeling of drawing the shoulder blades towards each other behind you again. A little length through the crown of the head. And then on an exhale, start to hinge forward at the hip rather than the waist as you bow over that leg. Notice that left sit bone, if it wants to peel up a bit, let it happen. Allow the pelvis and spine to move together. If you find that you're coming fairly far forward, the belly is resting on the thigh, you might start to reach for the foot. An interesting little thing here, if you do find a clasp of the foot, press the ball of the foot into your hand and draw the hand into the ball of the foot a little bit more. Interesting sensations there may rise. And then as you exhale, press through the back of the head, draw back up tall. Coming back to center, take a moment to just breathe deeply in and to fully let go. Okay, then turning to that opposite leg. The chest is facing the leg. You're framing the leg with the fingertips and drawing the shoulder blades a little bit towards each other. Breath in there. Exhaling, rolling forward through the pelvis to bow over the leg. Certainly, there is no yoga posture that is about touching your toes. But if you see that you can find that clasp, interesting little activation to press the foot into your hand and draw the hand back into the foot for a little resistance. Maybe that right sit bone is lifting slightly. Full breath. And then as you exhale, press through the back of the head, draw back up tall. Nice. From there, take your left heel in towards your groin. You're going to bend that left knee. If it's not fully contacting the earth, good spot to draw a block in for support. Once that left knee is bent, draw the sole of your right foot onto the earth in front of you. And you're going to take your hands around the ball of that foot. And then as you exhale, extend that leg up towards the sky for heron pose. Keep reaching out through the heel and lifting up and out of the low back. You're not leaning back towards the tailbone. You're rolling a bit forward towards the center of the sit bones. Steady breath. Exhaling, see if you can let the foot go and keep it there. Oh, super fun. And then exhale, let that leg return to earth. Oh yeah, shake it out a little bit. And then we're gonna switch it up. So let the left leg extend. Right heel is gonna come in towards the groin. You're bending that knee and supporting it with a block if it's not quite fully supported. Then take the sole of that left foot onto the earth in front of you. You might find two hands around the ball of the foot. Nice full breath. Exhaling, lifting that leg up towards the sky. Good. Feel that contact with the earth beneath you. It's not towards that tailbone. You've got a little bit of a roll forward there. Doing your best to keep the low back well supported, not rounding out of its typical shape. And then as you exhale, let the leg go. See if you can keep it lifted. And then as you exhale, let it go. Nice. Let both legs extend forward. Shake them out a little bit. And then a nice simple seated twist. So maybe the legs are gonna come to cross-legged. Maybe some other configuration works better for your body. Draw your arms to cactus. So the elbows are extending out from the shoulders. The fingertips are pointing to the sky. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, twist to the right. And notice that without the use of the hands, you're probably not going to go all that far. You're creating an active twist rather than a passive one for a moment here. And then on your next exhale, let the hands come to kind of their usual place with this kind of twist, that left hand to right knee, right hand on the earth behind your back. And all that work we did last month about allowing the pelvis to turn with the spine, notice here that the pelvis is anchored. There's no doubt about it. So it's probably not going to turn with your spine. So then you get to choose how much do you use the hands to increase this twist. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, reach the arms back up to the sky. Take a breath in, feel the fingertips reaching up. And then exhale, come back to cactus arms. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. Couple of breaths here, feeling how different it is to twist from the use of active spinal muscles rather than the passive use of the hands. And then as you exhale, take the hands down, that right hand to the knee, left hand on the earth behind you. And just consider, how does it feel in your body with the pelvis anchored to twist? And how much do you really want to use those hands? On your next inhale, reach back up to the sky. Feel the sit bones pressing as you reach through the fingertips. And then exhale, take the hands to the heart. Close the eyes for a moment or let them softly focus. And just notice if that intention of just simply feeling better in your body has come to fruition. And then allow the eyes to open, and we'll make our way into Shavasana. Yay! As always, if I can bring you anything from the prop shelf, do let me know. As you settle in, take the time to adjust everything, body, clothing, props, so that you can find as much comfort and ease as possible. Shavasana, in so many ways, the most important posture of our practice. Giving us that opportunity to receive, to process, to let all the work we've done settle into the physical body, the nervous system, the energetic body, and everything in between. Once you feel fully settled, take one last full breath in. And as you exhale, let go of that control of the breath. Let go of the control of the thoughts. Just allowing your body to rest here and receive all the benefits of your practice. Ever so gently, begin to deepen your breath. Begin to bring gentle movement back to the body, wiggling your fingers and toes, allowing the body to stretch and yawn in any way that serves it well. And when you're ready, draw the knees into your chest. roll to your right side, pausing there for a moment. And press the earth away to come up to a comfortable seat with the eyes closed. Back to your breath, and back to your intention for the practice today. And maybe taking a moment or two for gratitude for this body, for all the amazing things it's allowed you to do, not only today, but throughout your lifetime, and all the amazing things that are still to come. When you're ready, please join me for the closing chant. Asatoma Sagamaya Tamasoma Jyotiya Mritorma Amritam Gamaya Asatoma Sagamaya Tamasoma Amritam Gamaya Asatoma Sagamaya Tamasoma Jyotiya Mritorma Amritam Gamaya Amritam Gamaya. Drawing your hands together at your heart center, we wish this for all beings. May all beings everywhere awaken to their innate great perfection. May all beings everywhere experience life's true joys. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering and the root causes of suffering. And together, may we all abide in equanimity, free from attachments and aversions. Inhaling for the sound of Om, please. Sliding the hands up to the space between the eyebrows. Thank you so much for being here today, for sharing a bit of your light with me, and for allowing me to guide you through this practice. Namaste.